And I have been in contact with you many times since the beginning when we first placed you there many, many years ago.
I see.
But your mind, your conscious mind, did not need to know all this, and so it was in a sense blocked. But now you can know all, and you have a very important position. Do you know how many years you have been on the planet where you are?
Do I know?
I mean, how many years have you been?
I have been here about 200 years.
In the same body?
Oh, yes.
In the same body. Is this the average age of the people on this planet, Serena?
Oh, no. We have approximately, on the average, 300 and 400-year-old people here.
Is that so? Now, why do they like to stay in their physical bodies so long?
Well, the planet is a beautiful one, and it affords many of these people the opportunities to express in the fullest their fields. We do not work in laborious ways, but our day is spent in all artistic forms.
Oh, wonderful.
And you might say this planet is devoid of the violent nature which we have encountered on other earth planes.
Well, we are very happy to hear that. This is very wonderful.
We could dispense with our bodies sooner if we desired, but this is not desired in the larger population, for they have a calm way of life, and most of the time they are walking our gardens and various points of naturalistic areas, contemplating their expression.
Your people are conscious of the continuity of life, how they live eternally, how they live from one body to the next and return, how they live on a higher spiritual world when they leave the one they are now existent on. Are they aware of this particular important principle?
The teachings that have been recently found, approximately 600 or 700 years ago, has brought to light these concepts and are, on the large part, accepted wholeheartedly by the people, so their anxiety is not as great as it was in previous histories on our planet.
So you could say your people are progressively natured. They are spiritually aware and are progressive?
Most dynamically in certain areas. What is concerning me is that they are too complacent.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Man must be regenerative in nature. He must be progressive. Otherwise, he will regress. And I was trying to find out what the great need was for your planet. For so far, I haven't heard of anything that you are really distressed about or that you really need. Now, we are, as I perhaps didn't say, a salvage. We are salvaging all the peoples and the planets that need our help. And up to this point, I was thinking, what in the world can this dear soul and these people need with this wondrous way of life? But this is your need. If they are not spiritually progressing and not spiritually aware, then you need further teachings, and for each one to be spiritually quickened and aware of the infinite principle within each being that he must push forward and grow within himself, recognizing the infinite within himself, and that we must become creative in nature in a spiritual way more even more than in a physical or mental way to entertain ourselves. It is plain to see now this is your need. And we shall, after a brief time, enter into a program whereby we shall beam into your planet great radiations. I myself, with my collected associates, the great Erosians in consciousness, shall make revolutions about your world. We shall bombard your world with a new frequency, a new and higher frequency, whereby it will pick up your people into a higher dimension and frequency, and especially their leader, you, dear one, whereby you too will be able to gain greater understanding and illumination, where you will become a more inspired and helpful and outgoing channel to all your people. Moreover, and most important, from this point on, the people shall be translated during the time their body sleeps. I hope they still have the sleep sessions. Do you still go to sleep at night?
Yes, we do.
Good, because during the time their bodies sleep, and I have not yet found one who does not enter into this state for at least 4 or 5 hours. So during the time that your people sleep, we shall take them into these higher dimensions where they can learn these higher concepts, where they can begin their more progressive and regenerative evolution. Now, as you doubtless know, all things must first be learned and gained or conceived from the inner worlds. We come back in our wake state, and maybe we are not particularly conscious of what we have learned or gained, but in time it will show up, and we will find knowledge and concepts on the earth then that will ring a bell, and we will start to grow in our psychic anatomy. And this psychic, of course, is the very body that must be built. We must be constantly adding positive frequencies to this psychic anatomy for it to regenerate itself for future lifetimes. And eventually, when we reach the point where we need not reincarnate into the earth worlds anymore, but can reside eternally upon the higher spiritual worlds, where we need no bodies of atoms. And of course, even this is no point of termination. From there on, we shall continue to climb in our never-ending and ever-regenerating evolution, the spiritual way to the source of all creation.
That is some teaching and inspiration to we here. It is my concern and my brothers that our planet rejoin the spiritual essences of the artistic natures. Without this, as you say, we have nothing. Even though we might feel complete, a false facade does not make a person the complete integrating functioning element of creation. This here we feel to be our problem, that the inhabitants do not wish to, in their conscious mind, break away from their own expressions to the point where they can give and share what they have